Hello and welcome to my first speak commentary slash speeddraw video. Today I want to show you how I drew my character called the Arsonist, who is part of a series of character designs influenced by things from my life, like designs, ideas, colors, or personalities even. The reason why this video is so choppy and laggy at some points is because I had no inspiration when I started to draw, so I cut a lot of unwatchable footage out, including the sketching, unfortunately. OPS doesn't like recordings longer than an hour. The keyword during design was firefighter slash pyro, because I was sure I wanted to make a character that fights with fire. I based her personality on Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, which is a really misunderstood book in my opinion. For some reason, everyone thinks that its message was book good, technology bad, while I feel like it was a critical and open minded thinking good, ignorance bad. Anyway, I imagine her as a bubbly, outgoing mom, the type of woman who gets on well with kids and accidentally embarrasses her child in front of their friends and tries her best to seem cool. I feel like she wants to look like an early 21st century firefighter. She definitely wants to use an old but reliable flamethrower as a weapon because she likes to keep tradition no matter whose they are. That was the other trouble I faced during design, whether or not it even made sense for her to use a flamethrower. I always imagined a cyberpunk future as flame-proof, with automatic sprinklers everywhere and nothing is built from flammable materials. There are also no threats anymore, so what's the point? Then I realized that it's just to make people uncomfortable with heat and explosions. But I think her role would be to burn evidence, as she knows how to handle fire best. Back to her personality, she is also really defensive about those she cares about, including her teammates. This is why I used the primary colors dominantly. When I googled it, I found that firefighters don't have specific colors to their outfits. It's usually a choice what they use, so I settled on this brick red as the main color. I definitely wanted to use a warm red color because I feel like it conveys the warm, motherly personality the best, while it's also a toned down warning that she's not to be messed with. The easiest choice I made in the drawing was the language. It's a running theme that I write ref in other languages on the girls' weapons. These languages are selected randomly, but they all have one thing in common. They represent cultures with religious significance. For her, I decided to use German because this was the language that Martin Luther used to revolutionize Catholicism and to create the Protestantism. He felt like a god who only forgives for money is not a true god, and that the priests don't have better connection to him than any other believers. Unfortunately, most people don't know that he was also a raging anti-Semitic. As you can see, I also had to redraw her pose just when I thought I was done. I asked around a few people to describe her with a few words, but none of them said what I expected. To be honest, even I felt like something was missing. It was lacking a huge piece of personality. Because she's not the type to hide her face when she doesn't have to. That would go against the kind of impact she wants to have on people. Just like I said how Fahrenheit 451 is taken lightly than it really is, the Arsonist has two layers of personality too. A bit like a fire. From a distance it's pretty, from close it's warm, but if you're careless, she burns you. From the very beginning I always wanted her to be a middle-aged woman. In a cyberpunk world, life expectancy is really high, so she's not old by any means. However, drawing people with wrinkles is challenging. I guess this is the reason why you don't see many drawings of them, but I wish there was more. As a side note, her hairstyle is based on one of my favorite teachers at school. There is not one person better than her in motivating people to learn languages. She doesn't teach me anymore, unfortunately, but man, did she help us to understand English. Like, I had zero knowledge, but she didn't stop until we were having trouble. And the best part is that she was never once strict with us. For me, the recording is really choppy, and I want to apologize for that. Luckily, it's just me correcting lines and adding bits of details, like her facial scar. I felt like it was a bit of cliche, but I definitely got the idea from the TF classic Pyro, Beatrice. Man, commentaries are hard. I wish I could outsource it to a machine, but I'm not a coward. I plan to make more videos like this during the summer. Please tell me how I could improve, what to do differently. Even if you just like the video, it means a lot. Please, I beg for constructive criticism.